Welcome back to Project Development and Operations. It's a type of new business development and entrepreneurial course. We're going to start this afternoon with several people presenting business plans to potential imitation investors. It's a role-playing activity. Several people are going to go through. We've already started talking about the idea of this is you. There's several business plans that are possible presented. Here's this is another group of possible investors in front of Shark Tank. So all of you are aware of Shark Tank USA, Shark Tank International, how entrepreneurs need to be able to know their business and pitch the most important parts of their businesses in front of other people. So this afternoon, we have volunteers to start presenting their details. Which is the group that's going to be presenting these details now?
So I heard that group of Mr. Hill, right? So you want to go first?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Yes.
And
so I'm sure you're able to share the screen right now.
Okay.
So screen.
But don't forget, I would like not just people to present your business plan to everybody listening, but everybody listening, you are now rich investors, right?
Yes.
You need to evaluate all 6 different businesses. There's not just one business presenting. There's going to be 6 different businesses, teams of people that are presenting your business ideas, and we're going to talk about potential investments in each one of them. What is important? What do people want to know? So please make lots of notes and get ready to ask lots of questions as we go through, just like in the real Shark Tank. So Mr. Chongju, if you wanted to start, I think you were the group that said that you wanted to go. Please begin.
But for now, I just know, okay, we share about the Shark Tank video first, or we share about the initial plan of our business.
It's up to you. I would suggest you guys already reviewed the video. If you guys want, do you guys need time to watch the video? Maybe we can give you guys 5 or 10 minutes to watch the video again and chat together again to do the role play. I don't need to give you homework before. That's probably a good idea. How about I give each team 10 minutes to watch the video again. You don't need to go through all of it. Just get the main points and talk about how your team is going to present to your investors. Is 10 minutes enough, or do you guys need more than 10 minutes? Some videos might be more than 10 minutes.
I think we can present about the Shark Tank video for now, because we discussed before, and we can present for now.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't need the time. Yeah.
Okay, you guys can go ahead and start presenting now then.
Okay, Miss Ling and Miss Ming, and you can begin first, please.
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to present very quickly about the case of the pizza. Our company is called like a pizza cupcakes. We are come here for to get a $135 investment for 5% of the company. Our company is about a pizza cupcakes. Is bring the pizza to the next level. It's the cupcakes. The size is very small, and the pizza cupcake is very easily to serve with every occasion, in every occasion of the year, and with the ingredient are high quality. And this is the best pizza you have ever used before. The pizza cupcake is the perfect size for any occasion, and it's make the flavor for like American favorite. And this pizza is made from the frozen pizza with the low calories one from comparing to the original pizza. Our pizza, cupcake pizza, is for about 160 calories to 107 calories for one unit comparing to the 380 calorie per slice of pizza original. And this is the overall of our pizza cupcakes. Please, Link, please continue, please.
Yes, I would like to talk about our operation. At first, we sell directly to our customer. Then we also have our first partnership with a stadium. We produce our product in a commercial kitchen, and we also have co-packer who have been working with us for several months. So what we aim to sell this year, in this year we are projecting 800,000 in sales. We did about 300,000 in revenue last year. Year to date, we have done about 77,000, but we have a plan and we know how to execute our plan. Then the COVID-19 happened, so we knew that we had to launch an e-commerce direct to customer to have our frozen product present to them. So currently we only based in one city, and our customer are from all around the country, and they wanted to know where they could find us. So the two bestseller are the margarita and the pepperoni pizza. The margarita is the vegetarian. Pepperoni, as you know, is one of the Americans' favorite brand. But however, we face a big problem about the shipping cost. As you know, the cost to deliver the frozen food quite expensive. So the price of our product we sell in $35. For the shipping is about pizza cupcakes. It costs $35. The cost of goods sold of our is 95 cents at the moment per cupcake. So there's a little. We're making it by hand. So overall, in terms of shipping of frozen product, I think that we have some significant challenges. Next, please, Mr. Hill, please.
Yeah. I will present the 2 point issues the improvement. It's sorry. Okay. That one. Okay, 2.2 issues to improve our product. First, it's a frozen cupcake. It's very delicious, but it's frozen. That's why we need the cold the stock. It have a good inventory system around the world or around state in the United States to help us stock our product and also deliver to customer. And second point is got a good sold structure. It should improve because we make by it's a handmade product, and also got a good sold is, I mean, it's cost. First cost is quite high. It's quite $1 per cupcake, and also it's quite high because it takes the 50% of the product, and that's why we should consider to reduce. We choose a good supplier to reduce our price, and that's the 2 points. It should be improved. Logistic and cost of goods sold. Yeah.
Do you finish?
Yeah, we finish it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want from the potential investor?
Potential investor, yeah, we can profit the system of investor like a Shark Lorry because yeah, they have a good system of inventory and delivering, and they have a good partnership with the Starbucks. It's around 9,000 yeah Starbucks boutique around the US, and that's why we want to connect with the Shark to have a good logistic system and good delivery system. and also have advice to reduce the cost of goods sold.
Okay, good.
Okay, what about your the financing details? You started to say your cost for your one cupcake. You were saying a little bit about your sales, but you didn't say how much financing you need. So can I give
Okay,
you
it's how much
$1 to invest?
Yeah, maybe Miss Ming, yeah, forgot it. Okay, I can explain. We call $25,000 for 5% of own share of company.
125 K dollar for 5% stake of the company. That is what we are try to get for investment.
Okay, Dawn, can you go through the student list and try to get a couple of comments from each person about what the listener thinks is good or bad, whether they're going to invest or whether they're going to take a pass. If they, like Mr. Wonderful, almost always provides some comments about how they need to improve. So
Yes.
who's the first student we can ask?
Okay. So may I have Thanh Hà? Lê Thanh Hà, are you there? So I see you are in class.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
We would like you to act like the investor and give some comments about that business presentation you just heard. What is good about it and what is terrible? And if you're going to invest, what type of information do you need?
Well, I thought that their strategy about minimize the cost of goods sold and about the logistics, and I think that it's really good for their products. And as an investor, I am concerned about the valuation of their company and what the rate and the money they want to they I mean I mean the money they want the investor to convince in their company. For example, like $500,000 for 1% of the company. What the exact figures do you want the investor to invest?
Okay.
Not exact.
I heard that they wanted $125,000 in exchange for 5%. So they've provided some of this information. It's a good way to start talking about it. I also heard that you're a little bit concerned about logistics information. I heard you said it was very good, but I didn't hear what you think is good or bad. If you have some money to invest, what information do you need to know? Now that they tell you, I believe they said $125,000 will give you 5%. So that's a good start. Let's not focus. I don't want to stress one student too much. Let's go to the next student and then just start going around.
Yes. So Phạm Tuyền ạ. Phạm Tuyền ạ.
Yes, I'm here.
Great. We're waiting for you to be the big investor. You're Mark Cuban or Corcoran. What would you say as an investor?
As an investor, sorry, can you tell me again about your what you need to your invest of your company?
I'll pass this over
The
to
money, the money that you need to
An
invest.
Min already started talking about this, and Trung, it's already been said. Perhaps you guys, you have a chance to keep marketing. Every chance you have to do marketing, you should be marketing. Talk about how it's not just the money, it's an opportunity. Other people are just looking for money. So maybe you can say that money that you're looking for, but again, remind them why it's a good investment.
Yes, of course.
We only need 125,000 $125,000 for 5 stake.
5%.
Only 5%, but only investment $125,000.
Okay. I think your company is great about the idea. I love the idea. But yeah, I want to increase the stay for 10%.
Wow, you're gonna invest
5%, more than 5%, that's 10%. Is that okay?
Okay.
Acceptable.
Acceptable.
If we can if you can enjoy the environment and we can enjoy also the system of your company.
Actually, we have to consider about what you have to provide us. Do you have a great distribution line? Or
I like this. Good. Whatever you're saying,
Yes.
Don't just agree to it. So make sure you pay attention to details. Very good. The person that was speaking now, you're really good. Don't just say very good. It's polite, but it's not going to help you run a company.
Okay, so we have to
UK assessors, they just want some basic plan. Great. So you can do the business plan for your class subject, that's one thing. But if you really want to run a business, you can't just be polite. You need to get to the details. Many people, you're trained. Your mother says, oh, don't say that, or don't talk about that, or you're afraid to ask your teacher about this, or you're not allowed to say, teacher, how much money do you make, or details like that. That's crazy. It's your business, it's your life, it's your family. If somebody's going to take part of that, you need to know, what are they going to give for this extra 5%? Right, so continue. At the whole class, I'm not going to stress you too much. Before we go on to continue with details, I want everybody just to relax, number one. Just start trying to get your mind to expand. Play the game. It is a game. I am an old guy, but you're allowed to tell me I'm crazy. You're allowed to tell me to go home. It's just a game. I want you to practice growing a business. What do you think about? That is probably different than what other people think about. And if somebody's offering money, don't just take it right away. Many times it could be a mistake. For example, I took money once. I thought they just wanted to grow my business, but only after I found out they wanted to marry me. Then they were psycho crazy. So find out the details before you find crazy people. And in the TV show, nobody's really talking about the contract details or the secrecy details, but you may need to. The other thing is start, being strict. Like, who is going to be Mr. Wonderful? Do we have any Mr. Wonderful crazy guys that are mean? What the hell are you talking about? $100,000 for cupcakes? Are you crazy? Explain this stuff. Try to get into the frame of mind so that you understand what is important to you might be good, but what is important to other people could be very different. So show what's important to you and don't just be polite. The more aggressive you are, the more energy you have, the better you'll learn. The more you debate and actually argue, I promise the more you're going to remember and learn. And this is just a game. You haven't even talked about your real business yet. Later this afternoon, we will talk about the business, but this is just to get you started. Before you talk about your serious business, think about what's important so you can grow and present your business better. Please continue. I'm going to try to be quiet for at least 10 minutes. I'm probably going to talk, but I'm going to try to let you guys continue. If you want to go to the next group, great. If your cupcake company, pepperoni pizza cupcake, what kind of garbage is that? If you want to talk about it, go ahead.
Sorry, Mitchell, can I present my offer to the group?
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Ming, how do you market your product to your customer?
First thing that we in the beginning that we try to sell it direct to customer, and
Yes.
after that we get a 3 distribution channel. We're using e-commerce for delivering for investment for marketing and delivering to customer.
Okay.
But the point is, yes, we need money, but the point is when we take the money, what we will do next lies between accept to investment $125K for 5%. That is okay, but the point is what should we do next if we take the whole money, because the one we need is about the logistic system to deliver the freezing journal to customer.
Okay. One more thing I want to ask: how do you control the product quality?
We got on our receipt, and we got our own receipt, and we are because our product is made from the frozen pizza. So
yes.
The secret receipt that we can enjoy the frozen pizza like very fresh product.
Okay, so here is my offer. Yeah, I think it's very interesting in my offer. So for us, we are the corporation. We have a very strong background in F&B. We have technology. We have people to control your product quality. No problem for us. And secondly, we can get your product on the national TV shows about cooking. Just imagine our famous chef, okay, present your pizza to everyone in the nation. And thirdly, we have a strong connection. One of my best friends, he owns the Big C supermarket. So you can get your frozen products in the market. So my offer here is 150,000 for 20% of the share. So take it or leave it. That's our decision.
Yeah, it's can't accept because through first thing we don't need so much, because we build our chef is it's a founder, it's a chef cook, and we for now we apply every specification from the biggest restaurant in London, and for now we don't need more the specification. For now we need the delivering system, and Big C is a good choice, but it's not the bad choice, because we need like some shop here. It's a partnership with Starbucks or Tim Hortons, and we need it because Tim Hortons and Starbucks it's a famous brand, and also customer can enjoy with a high quality. But Big C, it's not very luxury supermarkets, and that's why maybe that reduce our brand name.
Please think about your product. It's a frozen pizza cupcake.
Yeah, you
think Starbucks they are going to sell the frozen pizza to the customer? I don't think so.
No, but because it's the frozen, but it delicious like a fresh pizza. That's why every shop here is and very surprised with our quality, because it's a very high quality of ingredient, and also the flavor is like a fresh pizza. Just think about this.
And another point is already we have already 3 places to selling points. One in the Midwest, the one in the Northeast, the one in the South. 3 location is quite far. That's why we only need about the logistic with the frozen system to deliver it with the large number of the cupcake to that location. That's not defective.
So please think big, guys. Just not focus on the customer from Starbucks or shops. Just imagine everyone in Vietnam enjoy the cupcakes. Okay, from the people now, they love the stuff from Western country, and they love.
Mr. Long, can you hit your investment? How much do you want?
I'm sorry.
How much do you want from our
150,000 for 20%, and you believe me, you will have my time. I will work with you also. We will develop the business together.
Oh, 50,
not just Vietnam, but all over Southeast Asia and even the world.
It's maximum. It's a 7.5% for the 125,000, and also 2.5% for your advice and for your system also. And max it's a 10%, no more.
10%.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do 10%. It's okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. We got the deal.
We will continue to ask another shark, and we will give you final decision.
Good idea. Hear from some other sharks. Let's try to hear at least one comment from each team or team of investors. What is another team? Duong, can you ask another team to pretend to be the investor and comment?
Yes, can I have a team one? Team one is Rian and Anne. Rian, you're here, right? Okay, so group 6, Linh, Ân, and Quân. Nobody?
The investors are shy.
Nguyễn Hữu Ân. So I see you also in the class here. So if you just open the Zoom and just let it go, so maybe we can go move on to another group. So you don't enjoy this class. So can I have a group 4? A group 4 Long, right? So you should give a group 3. Ngọc, Thuận, and Tuyền.
Yeah, we're here.
So you just listen to the group or group 2 present about their business of the pizza cupcake. So you are the potential investor. So how would you like to invest? Are you gonna invest, or you have any ideas to debate with the group?
You need to act like an investor. What is important to a business to you? Did you not hear the details? Can you repeat that? Maybe.
Sorry, sorry. I just got here. I don't know about my group member.
Okay. That's not good.
You can be on behalf of the group.
He didn't hear the details, I guess. Let's go to the next group. Hopefully some other people are paying attention.
Okay, group 4. This group 4 already. Group 5. Hà, Lê Thanh Hà, Vũ Nhật Linh, Nguyễn Thùy Dương.
Yes, we are here, but we are not ready to present our business plan.
We're not. Okay. Guys, please pay attention. We're not asking anybody else to present. We're asking you guys to show you know what a business plan is about. We have an example of a business. We want you to show you know what an investor wants to see. So we're doing a role play activity. We've had one group present a plan, and a couple of people are very active, but the whole class is supposed to do that. So the rest of you, you are going to have a harder time with your assessment if you're not active in the class. I want to say, I am active. I'm going to eat all of your details. So because I might eat all of your details, I'm not going to be the investor or partner with you guys, but I think it was very good. A few things that I would talk about. the idea of the first lady, I believe, in your group, she was saying somebody is going to offer 125 for 5%, but then somebody said, okay, they'll get 125,000 for 10%, and you immediately ask, what do you offer in exchange for this money, for this investment? That's really good. So what is good? What do you need? When you're negotiating, let's take this opportunity to change the idea to negotiating. So far, we have just heard one group saying, this is what I have, this is what I want. And other people are usually saying one thing. What is the best way to negotiate? Any ideas? Any suggestions? The An-min and Chung-Hu, I forget who is the other person in your group, but what do you guys suggest is your negotiation strategy, or what is any negotiation strategy? What are some ways you could negotiate if you have your own business? Any ideas? So far,
Okay.
you're saying you'll get 5% ownership. What else?
Like how we can use this, right, Professor?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. How you can use?
You mean when you agree to invest 125,000, and how we can use this passage, right?
That's another thing. That's a different thing. No, what I was talking about is just arguing. Forget this role play activity. You are asking somebody to do something. You're saying, give me money, and if you give me 125, I will give you 5%. What I'm telling you is you're asking for one thing only, and you're asking for one thing only, usually, so far. That style of negotiation is usually really bad. It's not good in business. You should not just go to a big meeting and say, I want $125,000, period. You should be saying, yes, you want this, and yes, this is the normal answer that we want, but we also want this and this and this and this because we know you have this and this and this and this and this. You should be trying to show, you know, there are many things for exchange.
Oh, okay, I understand. And then what you mean? Yeah, it's like a potential proposal for SAC to they understand I will use well and how benefits I will bring for the SAC, right?
Yes, for example, that's a good example. The Harvard negotiating book, there's a Harvard project that talks about how to do international negotiation. Their most important thing is the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So you ask for this, but you should plan to talk about many things, and you ask for this, but understand they have many things. For example, they may have money, but maybe you don't need the money if they can take care of the negotiations. Sorry, not the negotiations, the logistics and the transportation. If they can give that, you'll give 5% or 10%, and they don't need extra cash. Maybe something like that.
Okay, so, I understand. Yeah, and so I can begin. I understand what you mean. Okay, and so you just see our history because 2 years ago we just start and we begin the company. We have a revenue of 400,000, and for this year we have a revenue of $1 million, and also in COVID only 2 months we have almost 80,000, but for now it's around just New York. And when you pay for 5% with more than 100,000, honestly we don't need the money like this because we have money, but we need the raw system. And why we call raw money? And you see, when we just develop New York, but we have planned to next year to develop in Las Vegas and California, Los Angeles also, and also Chicago and the Florida. Is a big city and it have potential customer. What do you think about when you pay $100,000 grand, 100 grand, and every branch we open, you have a double. If we open the 10, we have a 1000% every year, and also it's very potential. It's a good amount, and also I know here some shark is very good with the partnership with the Tim Hortons, Starbucks, or another system, a restaurant like McDonald's or Burger King, and I know we can cooperate. If we don't invest to us, but if you invest us, yeah, we are owner and we can use the system together and make we different than any company of pizza. And yeah, it's my argument.
Good, thank you very much. Did you guys want to have more review? Did you want to share with the class what was most difficult about that role play? What was that most difficult about not just learning the details, but asking investors for money? What do you find most challenging?
I find the most challenging is we have to understand the position of the person in the YouTube video, so we can know about their idea, their company, and what is really happening to them and what they expecting from the shark.
Yes, yes. The more information you have, obviously, the better. That's why when we're talking in class, you only need 20 slides, which is usually very short, but you should have a big suitcase, a library full of information. The more research you have, the better. The only problem for having more information is it could slow you down a little bit. So yes, have as much information as possible to start. This activity, you don't need to be exact. You can make up things. It's good. So thank you very much for sharing those details. What's the next group to present? Is next group maybe group number 3? Phan Thị Kim and Pham Tai, Phan Ngoc Tan? Is that the next group to present?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we we're group 3 gonna present a donut business.
Okay.
And yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna say so we have a donut business that have been around for more than 3 years, and our business is we won 200,000 for 20% of the equity, and our business has, and I only 17 years old, so I started my own business when I was 17, and we increased our revenue from 500,000 in 2019, and now is we expanding from 1 shop and we're expanding to 4 shops, and our revenue is 850,000 now. So okay, so I don't know how we're gonna do this. Do you have any idea?
You have other business team that you're working with. Did they want to add more information?
I would say we earned 500 in 2019, and our profit back is 150,000. And then in 2020, we earned 850, and our profit back is 350. We are selling $5.5 per donut. And let's say we sold out 10,000 units within the first week. of operation. So yeah, we're asking 200 for 20% of our equity.
Any comments? It doesn't sound like any investors are really excited. Any investors excited? Admin, great. You're going to be the Mark Cuban. What do you say?
So I would like to ask, what is the feature of the cupcakes? What's the best feature of your cupcakes?
Not cupcakes. Cupcakes is your business. His business is donuts.
Donuts.
Oh my God.
But right, absolutely. He said donuts, but he only said donuts. Maybe he's an exact competitor to you. So how is he different? Exactly. You need to know that. So far, he didn't say he's really special, did he? Yes.
Well, I sold out 10,000 units within the first week of operation, and we're selling $5.5 per donut.
Do you think it's
I will-
$5.5 is expensive?
I will tell you about our product. It's the artisan donut store. It means that we decorate the donut in the artistic way. We have the cookies monster with it filled with cake batter. This is our glass cloud with it's filled with chocolate, hazelnut, and then Kit Kat and marshmallow, and Bruno Mars with immersed by solid caramel chip bouties with a hazelnut and white chocolate popcorn caramel, and also chocolate. And then we have a gold home crunch with a base of the ice cream, the golden gate, and we make into a donut. Yeah, that's it on of our bestseller.
So I heard they're selling Bruno Mars. Does that mean you're doing prostitution too? Mr. Long, do you understand what they're talking about? Everybody here, please get involved. Don't just wait. It's your business. It's your life. You should not be a quiet student. Try to start checking what's important.
I'm not interested in the product because the entrepreneur says, I don't know. He said, I don't know. That means he's not confident in the product. So why should I invest in the business?
$5 donut. Yeah, for crying out loud. What the heck is a $5 donut? However, when they started saying they're selling Bruno Mars, if I can get Bruno Mars for $5, even if that's for 5 minutes with Bruno Mars, that's a good deal. But really, are you selling Bruno Mars?
No, the name of the donut is Bruno Mars. That's to attract more customer. The curiosity we're using the name of celebrity to attract curiosity of the customer.
So, Mr. Trung you have almost the exact same business. It's a cupcake business. This is competing with you. Do you think a cupcake like you have is worth $5, even if I have beautiful icing on top?
Yeah, I think we have. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I think we have a lot of competitive advantages in comparison with donuts. Why? Because it's a pizza. It's a fresh, like a fresher. It's delicious.
Okay, I think you are answering a good question. That's actually perfect. When you are an entrepreneur and somebody gives you an opportunity to talk, yeah, you should promote you. That is very good. So I asked a question to Trung Yu and he promoted his business. Great. But that's not my question. My question is, do you believe this other company? The other company is selling the same thing as you, but $5 each donut.
Actually, we sell for each cupcake $3.
Oh my God, you're both crazy expensive.
Besides that, we also had a shipment.
Yeah, I want to explain why it's a $5.5. It's very attractive in comparison with another competitor, like for example, cupcake pizza. Because you donuts is not very special and it's quite high calorie for the people. And in the United States, it's a big problem with healthy. It's a diabetes.
Oh my God, everything you just said, the other team needs to save this for attacking you. So you're learning from each other. The ideas that you're saying should help each other. Keep going.
You have to understand that the donut itself, a lot of people eating donut as a breakfast. They don't eat cupcake for breakfast.
My mother would kill me.
Yeah, okay, so basically you can eat a donut and a cup of coffee for your breakfast, but you don't see people eating a cake for breakfast. Because donut provide more energy, and you can eat one and then you can stay like the whole day.
Yeah,
you see the difference here?
I see the difference in any donut I know. I just see carbohydrates, calories, and sugar. So that gives you energy, but for 15 minutes, not all day. What?
No, with the coffee and caffeine. With coffee and then a donut, that's how you survive. For example, you see on the cops, cops love cupcake, donut. You don't see cop love cupcake. So the cops is busy on the road and they just have a donut with them and then they work all day. So that's the advantage of the donut.
Okay, so what we're talking about now is you have some troublemaker. That's me. I'm a troublemaker. I'm trying to get you to think of crazy things. I'm trying to get you to think you are thinking like this, but then maybe somebody else is going to think of this or this. So my regular question, I thought it was polite. I thought it's a regular question. Donuts, in my mind, in my mother's mind, father's mind, usually it's high sugar and it gives you energy for a short time. Same thing with coffee. So you said coffee can give you more energy, but same thing, usually for an hour, 2 hours, then you go down less energy. And so you were answering normally, but it's not really protecting your business. If you answer that just with a simple answer, you need to think the other person thinks it's not great, and you're just saying it is great. Try to think of what is evidence that helps you. What is evidence that makes your answer different than your competitors? For example, Anmin and Trung Yu, he has the same business. He's serving carbohydrates and calories and coffee. That is the same. But what you could say is you have a Michelangelo artist decorating them, and he doesn't. He just has some regular guy in the kitchen, and they're just regular cupcakes. You could say it's more beautiful than anything. Some people think it's so beautiful, they don't eat it. They save it for 100 years. Or you could talk about your inside. What is making you special is extra special. For example, it's not just a donut. You also put protein, like protein powder, like the weightlifter protein powder in it. So it does give energy all day. Usually a donut gives you energy for like an hour, like a coffee. But like an energy bar is different. It has protein in it and it could give you energy longer. So try to think of not just answering a question. Don't just fight because the investors are supposed to be good, but try to think with the question, this could be an answer, but before you give the answer, try to think, what can you do that's extra good, that can solve something extra that's not just an argument, not just an answer. Try to, as Trung Yu said, use your opportunity to promote more. The more support you have, the better.
But the thing is, like when the investor they try to chip in to invest on your business, don't they always look for the money flow, the chart flow? They was like, okay, it doesn't matter what you sell. The matter is they actually earn profit and regularly. right?
Some of them right. Like Robert in the Shark Tank, one of the things he likes to do is to help new immigrants. And as if you are a new immigrant, almost guaranteed, he will invest to help give you advice and mentoring. Other people like Mr. Wonderful, yeah, he only wants profit and he wants immediate profit. A lot of the time, he might think your business is not really strong, so he will give you a loan. You have to pay back like a bank, so it's safe and it's guaranteed higher profit than a regular bank. So yes, it could be profit, but there's many alternatives.
No, but the thing is like we are treating all the students in this class as investor, right? Am I correct, Professor? Right. Okay. So the student that coming to in this class, what's the main purpose? To get some knowledge and to make some cash. So here, I don't think a lot of people care about how fat it is. We care about how much money can they make.
Great.
So by joining force, they can make with money with us more than they already have. You know,
great.
So we come in here showing what they want. They want the money charge. We show the money. That's it. They don't care about what we make. Most of the time,
I heard a few good things from you. However, before I talk about some of the good things, did anybody hear me talk about money? So far, I have not been focused on money. One thing that I did actually say before is one of the sharks, like of the Shark Tank, yeah, Mr. Wonderful, you know, he just wants money, money, money. Yes. But other people like Robert, I think he comes from, I don't know, Portugal, you know, not Portugal or Poland or some other country. He loves to invest in businesses, but he also loves to invest in immigrant people. So if you move to another country and start a business, he wants to just help you, period. Like charity. So some people have a different meaning, but so it's not only cash-based. Many people it's cash-based, yes. The second thing you talked about is even more smart. It's smarter. The idea that first team presented and your team presented, and it's the same business, their cupcakes, your donuts, you're right, it's the same, but I didn't hear that from you. So talk about that. You could collaborate with them. You need maybe supplies and you have distribution. They have supplies, but they don't have distribution, something like that. Maybe you don't need money at all. Sometimes cash is just a headache. And usually at the highest level, cash is not usually that important.
Yeah.
Maybe some people might not understand.
I agree. Yeah, I have a question. Sorry.
Go
yes,
ahead.
I agree with the professor. So many value we can exchange between the, in the business relationship. So not only cash, but by the other value we can count. So even we can exchange some kind of our if I buy the product or you also can buy my product, that's also kind of collaboration in the business. So we can earn the value from that. So can I have some questions for the donut business? So I haven't heard about you mentioning about the customers in detail, and do you have any vision for the plan in the like in 5 years? I think in 5 years, 3 years, and in 5 years.
So the first question was, who exactly is your target customer?
Customer, yes.
Both teams. Anmin and Lin Trong and Trong Yu, who is your target customer? Have you thought about that so far? And the second team also, Tuan and your team, I don't think I've heard from your other teammates. Maybe your other teammates can tell us who is your target customer?
Yeah, our target customer is a student from high school and university, and also the young people work in office, and that's why the age from 15 to 40. Yeah, it's around this, and we especially focus on 18 to 30.
And besides that, we also focusing on the people who really busy on their life, but but they still love the pizza. But the way they order the pizza is quite large, and they just order the pizza cupcake. It's very easy, but they can enjoy the pizza just a very small size. Pizza who love pizza, and the people still love pizza, but they are on the diet because our pizza has only 160 calories, and comparing the original pizza, it's 380 calories. Yeah, to our customer.
Great. And Duan, who is your group mate? You have two other group mates, right? Like Nok and Tuyen. Is that right? Do you guys have some comments about who is your target customer?
Yes. So our target customer is the teenager. So they loved the sweet things like donuts, and they love that the crazy decoration on the donuts. So that's why we have a store in the Melbourne, and it's around the university.
Okay. Any comments to that? What about the whole idea of artists? You were saying teens that love art. Some teens might be image oriented. Maybe they don't want to get fat. And if you're targeting the artists, students, then aren't artists usually the people that are poor with no money? How are they going to pay $5 for one donut when the first group's donut is only $3.50? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes,
$2, and $3 including the delivery.
Including delivery. Wow.
Wow.
So we're starting to think of good things. The idea of your target customer is very important. Don't just say kids. The idea of saying their teen kids is better. They're saying that their artist teen kids is even better. Then try to talk about maybe their art kids focused on music, or art kids in university, but at the most expensive private university would be even better. Maybe they're getting millions of dollars every week from their family money, and target those neighborhoods versus other areas. So the more you focus on the target customer, the better. And being creative, like don't fight with another group. Maybe you can partner with another group. Very good ideas. So Nok and Tuan, you guys have talked. Is there anybody else in your group that wants to talk, or do you guys have questions for anyone else?
Yeah, maybe I have two questions. It's not from Cupcake team. It's from the Shark. When I am Shark,
okay,
I care about the cash flow. Okay,
sure.
And so I have two questions. First, yeah, I agree. You have a boom. It's closer attraction from the first week because you sold 10,000 item. But I care about its long term. For example, for now, everyone pay $5.5 for one donut, and for me, it's expensive. Comparison with the muffin, for example, I pay for now just $2.5 or $3, and yeah, I can drink with coffee, and that's why the client have another option to choose for the morning. And second, you know, it's a donut, it's a high calorie, and maybe after that, when the weakness of the client increases, they don't want to buy something with high calorie because it has some risk. And that's why I care about when I pay for you, and the benefits and the revenue in the long term will reduce, and it's hard to return my money. And how you can explain about it.
Yeah. So you see that, right? We were saying we're selling 10,000 donuts for 5.5 each. That is the first week. So what's that mean? You say it's expensive, yes, but have you heard of the term? You pay what it's worth for. People know it's expensive, but they still pay for it. So the quality of it explain everything, you know. And also you will worry about the long term and how you can sell it. Okay, for example, the regular donut, you can buy it for $3, for example, but it's a plain, boring donut. Here we are, a donut for 5.5, you have those art and stuff, and now it's a 4.0 generation. People taking pictures, you know, influencer taking pictures. They don't want to post a picture of a plain, boring donut. They want to post a picture of a like artistic donut on the Instagram to gain followers, to TikTok to doing stuff. So we can even collaborate with those guys. So at one on the other side, they can gain follower because they was so curious about what this colorful donut, artistic donut. And another thing is because of gaining those follower for the influencer, those followers are gonna be curious about our product and come to our shop to try it out. You see the economy factor here?
What I just heard is two parts of your answers. And I'm not going to point out many of the details. I'm just pointing out when you are doing business, it is good to be decisive. That's often good. But always understand one of the key things that makes people successful is social capital. How you can work and collaborate, partner with other people. If somebody says something that bothers you, my style would be like, hey, screw you, or say something bad. Obviously, you should not do that. Don't copy me. You should try to find what is the good thing in them. So rather than somebody saying, okay, you had 10,000 in your first week, but what is your long term? Your answer started to actually argue with him. And so that's kind of bad because he's going to feel kind of bad. And so if he feels bad, he's going to stop listening to you and stop investing in you right away. But the second part of your answer was really, really good. Really good. You didn't just think about that 10,000 hours. You were talking about influencers and the way that other people continue to follow you and promote you. Not only is it longer term and focusing on that, which is good, but you have other people that you don't even have to pay are promoting you. So you have free advertising. So try to think of answers that the other people like so you don't make any people angry. Is that clear? Hopefully that's clear. But now I'm going to show you another thing from academics. Usually they say, and it's really hard to do, but having statements that are controversial are the best ways for marketing. So if people argue this is good, this is bad, that's the way you go viral. That's the way you get many, many customers. But arguing or controversy, debating is very, very dangerous. Don't try to make people feel bad or look bad. For example, saying everybody that likes cupcakes, everybody likes donuts, they're stupid. You can't say that. You have to say something good. It is a new view. It's not focused on the donut. It's not focused on the calorie. It's focused on the art. Or it's focused on something special so that you have people addicted to it and they're influencers. Whatever the case, try to focus on nice things, maybe controversial things that you can partner with other people. Any other comments? I talk too much. What else can you guys comment on? Did you get your
sorry,
20%?
Professor. So I think we also have been in 1 hour. So I really love seeing and listening to all of us debate about the business plan. So maybe we can come back.
Right, it is time for a break. So we have 4 more groups able to present after this. So far, we've heard from the cupcake group, we've heard from the donut group. The other groups, again, hopefully you understand, go through the Shark Tank video, learn what are the Shark Tank video details, and try to develop strategies so that you can not just present your details, but you can get something extra, not just the money, not just the investment. Maybe you need the distribution, maybe you need the expertise. Those types of things often help a lot. Any questions before we take another 10 or 15-minute break? No?
No, it's good.
Okay, thank you. I hope Trung-Ho, Admin, Lin, and Tuan, and your group, I hope you guys have benefited and enjoyed pretending to be the entrepreneur. I hope that was good. See you guys in 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. So welcome back. We are going to be talking a little bit more about interesting ideas related to project development operations, new business startups, etc. One of the things that I already started to talk about earlier is the idea of thinking big. If somebody has a cure for cancer or a cure for world water shortages and problems and things like that, make sure you're thinking big. Some people think of Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates as some of the most successful people in history, but they're not. They're actually relatively small compared to some other people in history. So entrepreneurs can do amazingly great things. Think big. It's good to start small, but again, think big. The idea of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they for a long time were the big superstars of successful entrepreneurship and business, but they, for a long time, Bill Gates had around $100 billion. But at the same time, Rockefeller, he had $663 billion back over 100 years ago. So Carnegie is about the same. Rockefeller, he was basically developing with oil for quite a while, did amazingly well. Carnegie, he was developing with steel, and he made $1.4 billion again, 100 years ago. JP Morgan in banking did the same thing with banking, steel, electricity. Vanderbilt did about the same thing, $178 billion. And notice that it's time focused. What I'm trying to point out here is to think big and think of your environment. While some people say Bill Gates is the best in the world, or Steve Jobs is the best in the world, or Elon Musk is the best in the world, their environment makes a lot of who they are. For example, climate change and the idea of people wanting to take care of the environment is definitely helping Elon Musk grow certain projects. And Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, they were born at the same time. They were both born in 1955. And what do you guys see is similar about what I'm showing in the red box at the bottom? What is similar about the Rockefellers, which were maybe the most successful in the world? Actually, they're not the most successful in the world. They're just most successful in American history. So what is similar about the Rockefellers, Carnegies, JP Morgan, Vanderbilt? You guys see something similar there?
They are successful entrepreneur, but a long time ago.
Yes, but not just successful, but they're all basically at the exact same time. 1835, 1837, 1839, they're all the same age. So they were in an environment that needed oil and needed steel and needed electricity and banking, and all of this was brand new. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, same thing. They were in an environment that got the personal computer for the very first time, basically in history. And they got access to it. It's not that they were special geniuses. Yes, they're smart, but their parents just happened to live in a community that had the personal computers, and they were able to get access to it almost any time, more than anybody else in history. And the same thing with others. So what is the environment you guys are in? You guys are now able to own businesses, control businesses, invest in businesses at a time where even Bill Gates says you have more opportunity than he does. So what is that opportunity? Everybody is now online. Everybody is looking at doing business, probably in other countries. China is looking to expand in Africa. North America and Europe is still looking very aggressively to invest in Vietnam and in China and other places. So the world is online. The world is always online, and people are online. You can hire people. You can sell your services and products online easier than ever before. So hopefully you think about those things and are able to grow your business and grow big. The other thing that I was trying to show you is the world changed with a few other things. This first thing that's the first square on the left, Philosophical Transactions. That's a book. It's a journal. It's one of the most reliable journals in the world. It was created back in the 1400s. And, with the printing press. The printing press started in the 1400s. The journal started in 1663. So world and life changed at that time. Telegraph and the telephone, that changed things. The recording started to change things. The TV and internet changed things. Other things that are changing things, the idea that you can now communicate with anybody and learn anything and get certificates for anything for free online anytime with anyone. So please note that, and I'm repeating what we talked about earlier. Dom, can you still hear me and see everything? Is everything clear? Just wanted to check. Can anybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Professor. We
Okay,
can hear
good.
you.
You guys can still hear me. I was wondering,
Yes.
am I putting you guys to sleep? The idea of successes. You guys are at an environment and a time that gives you lots of opportunities. This is not what I'm showing on the screen. It's not my idea. This is from the Canadian government. And they're not trying to promote anything. They're just saying a fact of businesses is that most of them that have a significant business plan are successful more than 5 years. And it's not just Canada. This is from the London School of Business, the London School of Economics, and the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor, which is a very good magazine or website to follow if you're monitors. They're saying that more than 70% survive more than 2 years. Why do people discontinue? They usually are expanding into other opportunities, or they're able to sell, or there's several facts showing that entrepreneurship is a good idea. This is an old image, but what it's showing is these companies that were started long ago, most of them, they're huge. You know, assets of $300 billion. The current businesses are now making trillions of dollars. They're worth trillions. It's pretty incredible. Also note here that a lot of people that say they are the biggest in the world, and people say the Fortune 500, they're not. People don't look internationally. Most of the people saying they're international, they're Americans saying they're the world's best, but they have never been outside of their own city, most of them. More than 80% of Americans haven't left their state. And so if we look beyond the American Fortune 500 and look at the global Fortune 500, we see a lot of the focus is getting into the Vietnam area, like China. And China is almost reached its peak in many areas. And so it's spilling over into Vietnam. Vietnam is a very powerful environment. Here is a small video that I'll try to show. It's just trying to encourage you guys to develop your businesses. Why should you want to be a CEO? Why should you want to start a company? The idea, just to make sure people understand, is most people work in companies and they think if you're paid a pretty good salary, that is good. But the idea is most people working for a company, they're paid a small amount compared to how much you work.
Can't get out of my head. A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups, they asked.
Oops. Are we losing internet? Uh-oh. You guys can still hear me, right? we're supposed to be, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So I apologize. We're supposed to be in one of the countries that has the best internet connectivity in the world, and it's crashing. And this is supposed to be a very advanced internet connection. So I'll skip over this. Maybe we can come back to it later.
There's a
This
chart
is-
I saw recently that I can't get out.
I'm going to.
So if you want me to show that short list, I can show that.
Sure, go ahead. You can show it, Tom.
Yes.
My head. A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we
you
can.
hear that?
Yes, go ahead.
distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups. They asked people how they thought the wealth in this country was divided. Then he asked them what they thought was the ideal distribution. And 92%, that's at least 9 out of 10 of them, said it should be more like this. In other words, more equitable than they think it is. Now that fact is telling, admittedly, the notion that most Americans know that the system is already skewed unfairly. But what's most interesting to me is the reality compared to our perception. The ideal is as far removed from our perception of reality as the actual distribution is from what we think exists in this country. So ignore the ideal for a moment. Here's what we think it is again. And here is the actual distribution, shockingly skewed. Not only do the bottom 20% and the next 20%, the bottom 40% of Americans barely have any wealth. I mean, it's hard to even see them on the chart, but the top 1% has more of the country's wealth than 9 out of 10 Americans believe the entire top 20% should have. Mind blowing. But let's look at it another way, because I find this chart kind of difficult to wrap my head around. Instead, let's reduce the 311 million Americans to just a representative 100 people. Make it simple. Here they are: teachers, coaches, firefighters, construction workers, engineers, doctors, lawyers, some investment bankers, a CEO, maybe a celebrity. Now let's line them up according to their wealth. Poorest people on the left, wealthiest on the right, just a steady row of folks based on their net worth. We'll color code them like we did before based on which 20% quintile they fall into. Now let's reduce the total wealth of the United States, which was roughly $54 trillion in 2009, to this symbolic pile of cash. And let's distribute it among our 100 Americans. Well, here's socialism, all the wealth of the country distributed equally. We all know that won't work. We need to encourage people to work and work hard to achieve that good old American dream and keep our country moving forward. So here's that ideal we asked everyone about, something like this curve. This isn't too bad. We've got some incentive, as the wealthiest folks are now about 10 to 20 times better off than the poorest Americans. But hey, even the poor folks aren't actually poor, since the poverty line has stayed almost entirely off the chart. We have a super healthy middle class with a smooth transition into wealth. And yes, Republicans and Democrats alike chose this curve. 9 out of 10 people, 92%, said this was a nice, ideal distribution of America's wealth. But let's move on. This is what people think America's wealth distribution actually looks like. Not as equitable, clearly, but for me, even this still looks pretty great. Yes, the poorest 20 to 30% are starting to suffer quite a lot compared to the ideal, and the middle class is certainly struggling more than they were, while the rich and wealthy are making roughly 100 times that of the poorest Americans, and about 10 times that of the still healthy middle class. Sadly, this isn't even close to the reality. Here is the actual distribution of wealth in America. The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change, and the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off?
So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale. And the top 1%, this guy, well, his stack of money stretches 10 times higher than we can show. Here's his stack of cash, restacked all by itself. This is the top 1% we've been hearing so much about. So much green in his pockets that I have to give him a whole new column of his own because he won't fit on my chart. 1% of America has 40% of all the nation's wealth. The bottom 80%, 8 out of every 10 people, or 80 out of these 100, only has 7% between them. And this has only gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years. While the richest 1% take home almost a quarter of the national income today, in 1976, they took home only 9%, meaning their share of income has nearly tripled in the last 30 years. The top 1% own half the country's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The bottom 50% of Americans own only 0.5% of these investments, which means they aren't investing. They're just scraping by. I'm sure many of these wealthy people have worked very hard with their money. But do you really believe that the CEO is working 380 times harder than his average employee? Not his lowest paid employee, not the janitor, but the average earner in his company. The average worker needs to work more than a month to earn what the CEO makes in 1 hour. We certainly don't have to go all the way to socialism to find something that is fair for hardworking Americans. We don't even have to achieve what most of us consider might be ideal. All we need to do is wake up and realize that the reality in this country is not at all what we think it is.
Thank you for showing that, Dom. The idea of showing this is not to focus on just money again, but this is research. And another thing, in addition to that, owners of businesses or CEOs get a crazy amount of the benefit of the company. But another aspect of this is the CEO or the owners of the company, they have a crazy amount of control over the details. Some people think, well, we follow everything with CNN and BBC. We see details in the stock market. People have asked me this morning as I'm coming here, have I been following these stocks? Well, the CEO can manipulate details in the stock market relatively easily. That idea of your sales minus expenses equals how much you have left over to pay taxes. Well, if you don't want to pay taxes, you just put more of the money into your expenses. So the CEO can control a lot of that. The other thing I'd like to show, I'm going to try to share my screen now, is this just an American thing? No. These, what I'm showing on the screen now, you can see this screen now, Tom? Everyone else?
Yes, we can see the screen now.
Hopefully you understand at least the guy on the left, he is the CEO, Tim Cook of Apple. Did you know that when he started, he paid $378 million in his first year in management and 55% salary increase the next year? And the idea that you're making so much, usually from stocks and other things, most people don't understand. So try to pay attention to detail. Let's take a look at the other guys in the middle. One guy in the middle, you probably have never heard of him. Maybe he's a nobody, but he's a very rich nobody. And he is the CEO of a real estate company. Some of the people in this group are working with real estate companies. Did you know that he, as a CEO, he agreed to pay himself $137 million every year as salary? Although his company had many investors, it was like a public company, the investors rejected that. They tried to vote saying that's crazy, they're not making that much money, especially in a downturn. However, he got to keep that pay anyway. CEOs don't necessarily listen to the investors. It's very, very rare that the investors have the ability to change what the CEO is going to be doing. So he kept it. Next, the guy on the right, Larry Ellison. is a guy that you probably should know. It is very important to understand the influence of management information systems, learning technology, learning about big data, learning about analytics programs, especially like Facebook Analytics, or how Cambridge Analytica was able to help Donald Trump win his election in 2016. Again, that's fact. But this guy, Larry Ellison, he is the CEO of Oracle, a management information systems company, and he has been paying himself almost $100 million every year for almost ever. And people are not really objecting to that. And is it an American thing? These guys, they're all Americans, but this is not an American thing. It's almost every country in the world is the same. The top CEOs are making now, it's not 380 times, but the average is, the top CEOs are making 400 times the average pay. And again, we're not talking about the lowest pay. We're not talking about the low janitor's pay. We're talking everybody working in the company, and then what is the average? So you should be motivated to want to start your own business, be a CEO of your own company. Big data, as we talked about with Oracle, it's very important to know how big data can show you what your customers want and like, and what they're talking about, what they're looking for. If you have a good idea, great, but you're nothing unless you check the customers like it. So check. And these computer details are tracking everybody online, what they're looking for, so understand big data. This started generally around 1998, 1999. Why? Because people were worried everything is saved in computers, and when 1999 changes to 2000, they thought their internet information was going to get deleted. Well, it didn't. People were worrying too much, but this big data is now everywhere. And now the idea of this information, it's growing so much so that artificial intelligence is growing on its own. You're at an environment at a time when the world is changing very, very rapidly. Try to understand these details. So what is big data? Big data is basically the data. It's too large, complex, dynamic for any conventional data tools to capture. So you need to have formulas and analytics to understand it. The right to use it is open for anybody. Any analyst can do it. But many people misunderstand. What I'm showing on the screen right here, it's showing there's more than 3,500 with the respect to volume in North America, more than Europe and China combined. This is not right. Although this is very good data source, they are wrong because they're only looking at English details, or they're biased. Many people are biased. For example, if you do look at the internet, you will see that China has things in Chinese, Vietnamese have things in Vietnamese, Koreans have things in Korean language on the internet, lots more than English. And in Korea, at least, most of the internet is not using Google. So if you're just checking Google for big data, you're biased in itself. So be aware of those things. You can use this to understand where it's being used. For example, most is being used in retail or consulting, air transportation. What are some other trends that impact you? I'm just going to talk for several minutes about the overall environment to hopefully motivate you. Hopefully all of you are aware that the internet started about the same time everywhere. Is somebody trying to say something? I hear somebody talking, but I don't hear really what you're saying. If you're trying to get on here. Anyway, my point is that the internet started around 1997, 1998. And it started in Korea and China and almost all countries at the same time. And it's been exploding ever since. However, what is used on the internet changes country by country. For example, Facebook is in the United States together with Google, but in Korea, they're using more of Kakao than Facebook. And in China, they're using more of the Baidu than the Google and other searches. So be aware your country, for example, Viber and Zalo, is that used more than Facebook? Who knows? What your customers used is what you have to know about. Make sure you remember this. One of your biggest challenges to business, one of your biggest challenges to success in anything you do is yourself. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about this, the self-reference criterion. So SRC stands for the criteria that you are focused on for success is just coming from yourself. You're referencing yourself for everything. But again, you're not buying it. The customers are buying it, and the customers have other ideas. You must check what other people think and feel. If you only make decisions based on yourself, you're going to have trouble. So SRC stands for your unconscious reference to your own cultural values, what you think is good and bad. It's referring to only your experiences, only your knowledge as a base. You must test the customers. Next, most people are born pure, I guess. Most people are born in a good situation, I guess, but at the same time, they're born parochial. They only know one way. The doctor spanks them, their mother says this is good, that's the only thing they know. Only when they get older, maybe they go to graduate school, they learn that there's the Canadian way, the Chinese way, the Korean way, but they think those things are a little bit different. So they keep doing their way. That still idea of parochial and then ethnocentric, those are natural, but they're still very bad. You must invest your time and energy to understand what your customers feel. Maybe your customers have different cultures than you do. Can somebody give me an example or explain what I just said? What does SRC mean to you? How about don't win, 3 don't win, or don't win? Can you comment? Try to get somebody that I haven't heard from for a while. Zoom?
Nguyễn Thùy Dương ạ.
Going once, twice, 3 times?
Me?
What about, yes, asking you, do you understand what I said about SRC?
Yes, I understand. I think we need SRC to avoid being too relying on our own references. Regarding like to understand the customer behavior, we need to collect data from various sources, mostly the reliable and credible sources, or otherwise we will based on the wrong references, so we'll make the wrong decision. We'll become too confident on ourselves that will we neglect the actual and the factuals of the real world, and so it will lead to our failure. Yeah, so
absolutely, thank you. That was a perfect comment, and it's also related to this. I was showing you very successful CEOs. I was also showing you the idea of successful companies. Most of these are usually American. I'm not promoting American. With what I am saying is, don't just rely on one culture, and it's not all just American. You need to understand wherever your culture is, wherever your customer is, they can be different. You must check that culture. Don't just reference the American culture. Online, almost everybody is online, but what you have online can change from country to country, and it's growing increasingly. There are rules to understand it. Make sure you increasingly try every week to learn a little bit more about analytics programs. Social media analytics, what that means is anybody that uses that social media, they're doing things, they're typing things in, and that information is saved so that you can see what the popular thing is or what most people are looking for. and just use that most people thing, which is the key words, to promote your business. And so there's different rules. Learn about that. It's developing all the time. There's more details related to the tips. For example, it's confusing sometimes. Some people say you should be active and you should be aggressive, but then at the same time they say you should be humble. Some people say you should promote yourself as the best in the world, but then other people say you should be very humble also. Don't be too proud. So learn increasingly about it and learn that nobody is as much of an expert as you should be. If you have the 100 to 150 reasonable questions about your business answered, you are the expert, but you need to keep checking what other people are saying. I believe almost all of you know about this, right? This is talking about Gangnam Style, and the guy's name is Psy. He was one of the first guys to create a video, a music video, that basically had over 1 billion viewers. How long did it take? Not very long. So some of you in the class, I was talking to you and you're saying, maybe I can't do it or I don't have the ability. Well, nobody knew of this guy before he had that video. Many people are going from 0 to 1 billion followers in 24 hours. His second video did that. So you can have many, many people following you very, very quickly. But there's rules. Do any of you understand what are his rules? Like what helped make Sai popular? Do you understand how to become successful on the internet? For example, he doesn't speak very much English. When he made this video, there is almost no English. So the video is not successful because of the words, because nobody really knows it. It's successful for a few things. And one of the things I'm showing here is it's controversial. Try to have a hook to catch people's interest. And what I mean by a hook is everybody likes sexy, attractive people. But as you're looking in the middle of the picture, you're not allowed looking at a girl's bum and showing everybody you're drooling over their bum. You're not allowed to do that. But if he does that in the video, you attract a lot of attention. Some people are going to say you're terrible for doing that. Other people are going to say, I love that. I wish I could do that. I want to do it. I'm just not brave enough. Other people are saying, I want to travel with women all the time. And the top left picture, he is traveling with women, but it's a bus full of 90-year-old women. So he's making jokes about things. And the other thing, he's saying people want real estate. They want property in special luxury areas. And so we have real estate experts in our group, and you probably all agree you would love to have real estate in a special area, but he's saying his real estate is just a toilet. So he's working out of a toilet. So he's making jokes that are controversial. Those controversial things attract people to argue more. Those arguments help make you go viral more. So just think about those things. Another thing, when you're advertising, you need to come up with your business plan. We must follow the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule applies for many things. Earlier, we talked about 80% of your benefits or 80% of your profit or 80% of your sales comes from only 20% of your customers. That's generally true. You can get most benefit from very specific customers. So try to find out what are the best customers to follow. But it also stands for advertising. For example, some research shows that 80% of your advertising should catch your eye, and less than 20% of the advertising should be the wording. It's not always the same, but that's what the research shows. So we see this picture on the left of Nicole Kidman. She's a very, very famous person. And we see that there's an image of the Chanel perfume. What is the connection there? The idea of being luxurious, you're trying to promote your product is luxurious. So you don't have just a hardworking farmer. You try to have somebody sexy and luxurious. And the idea of connecting your marketing to your product is very important. Even her earrings, these diamond earrings, are looking like they're drops of water, which are almost leading to the product. So there's a lot of thought that goes into good marketing. Try to follow that. The top right picture that we see on the screen, does anybody know what that is? Let's start with the easier one, the one at the very bottom. Does anybody understand what are we looking at in this bottom picture here?
So the football shoes.
Yes, they're selling, it's not selling football, it's not selling soccer, it's selling just the shoes.
Shoes, yeah,
But-
shoes for
but
football
if-
players.
If you look closely, you can see that he doesn't have normal legs. So his legs are controversial. Having just a football player kicking a ball is not important. It's not sexy. It's not really even that attractive. Even if he's a famous person, it's not that attractive. But having crazy legs, that is controversial. People will say that's ugly. Other people will say it's great. People will argue. That type of thing is kind of important. A mistake, however, is the top right picture. Be very careful. For example, some of you are selling the water bottles and you're talking about copper, zinc, magnesium. You know about a lot of the details. You know what's really interesting, but what you know is not important. You need to understand what the customer knows and cares about. Can anybody tell me what the top right picture is about? More than 95% of the people have no idea what that is. So don't create an ad that the average person does not understand. This is basically like a video game company in Eastern Europe, but nobody understands that. So if people don't understand what you're trying to do, your idea is not important. That SRC is very important. We've already started to use Shark Tank. Looking at Shark Tank is very good to expand your thinking about entrepreneurship. Think of many new ideas. Think of many different ways to promote these ideas. For example, most people are usually thinking lipstick is supposed to be very sexy. It's supposed to be very luxurious. The idea of lipstick remix is taking garbage lipstick and making new lipstick out of it. But it's a very successful company. They say the bottom of a lipstick container never gets used. And so if you just melt the wax lipstick from the bottom of the container with several others, you can have a whole new lipstick container with just your old leftover lipstick, and it's just selling the plastic container for that. Some of these ideas are great ideas. Others are good ideas related to how to go video, how to go viral, how to promote fancy songs and things. If you have time, we're not going to have too much time today, but you can go through and listen to the video that this customer makes. So there's a Burger King group with you. You're going to be selling burger type food. This company did the same thing. And they just simply said, anybody that comes up with a good video, we will give you a week's supply of free burgers. Well, this guy was a customer and he created a video that went viral with millions and millions of people watching it. And it only cost like $100 in burgers. What about mistakes? There's a big thing to learn from these mistakes. What we're showing here in the top right, it looks like ambulance workers with a dead body. And in North America, this white bag that the body's in is called a body bag. So be very careful when you are promoting your business. You check what other people understand, because in Europe, and especially in Germany, a body bag is this brown bag. The idea of a knapsack is a body bag. So don't think everybody knows a body bag is for dead people. In the right middle picture, a guy is trying to sell toothbrushes, but this toothbrush, when you convert it, basically means penis tool. So you don't want to say, I want you to buy my toothbrush, and you translate it into penis tool. Same thing. The bottom right, in India, we have 1.3 billion customers. They believe that it's very good for helping children to learn about health. So the famous soccer team in India, when they're winning teams, they allowed the top high school students to take drinks out and give the drinks to these famous players. And so the young kids, they thought it was great. It was a luxurious opportunity. But Pepsi Cola, when they made it, it wasn't just an advertisement in India, it was a global advertisement. And they forgot that globally, people didn't understand the Indian language, and they just understand these rich, successful Indian adults are making young people, slave-like young people, give them drinks. So Pepsi actually got banned. They got kicked out of India because of too many people in England and North America complaining about it. So make sure you check. Another thing, each country, some of you are going to do international business in different countries. Make sure you're aware. This top left picture shows a picture of a baby bottle. And in North America, the idea Gerber is the company that makes that. That's a very famous company. Everybody in North America generally knows and respects this baby food company. However, when the company tried to sell this product internationally, they forgot to check the translations, because in many parts of Eastern Europe and in Africa, there are laws saying you have to have a picture of your product content on the bottle. So what do you see on the bottle? I'm in this picture in the top left that I'm moving around now. What do you see? There's pictures of a plate of food, yes, but
I see the baby over here.
Okay, and so what did I just say? What does that mean? In Africa, what is the law? The law says the picture shows what is inside the bottle. So what do you have here? This company is selling chopped up babies. They killed babies, they cut the babies up, they put them in a bottle, they're selling that. So again, it's just an example that you may think having a cute baby on the bottle is okay, but other countries, maybe they can't read, and the country says you have to have a picture to show what is inside. So in some parts of like the Congo, for example, the people that they were donating this to, they thought there's dead bodies in this bottle. Big mistake. What about, everybody knows this bottom left picture. Do you see the joke with the bottom left picture? Chong Hyu, can you translate what this picture at the bottom is talking about? Starbucks, you understand?
Yes, but
I'm afraid to talk about it. Do any of you speak German? They're saying that in Germany, the idea of break means to destroy, and latte means erection. So when Starbucks is promoting latte breaks, they're saying break your penis. The same thing. If you don't translate properly and get local people to check, you will have that SRC problem. Starbucks spent millions of dollars in Germany to promote this ad on latte breaks. Choose Starbucks for latte breaks. And what it is understood as is use Starbucks and destroy your sex life and destroy your penis. Obviously, you need to check some of those details. How can you check that? I'd encourage you guys, it would be fun later. We're not going to talk about it in class. I talk a lot about it in international management classes. Go do a Google search for this guy, Hofstede, Hofstede, and just type in any country in the world. So Hofstede, comma, and any country like Hofstede, Vietnam, Hofstede, Canada, and it will tell you what your culture is like and what other cultures are like. And so we see here, South Korean culture is different than Chinese culture, which is red here. South Korean is blue, Chinese is red, United States is green. They can say for people, some people are focused on individual detail or individual people. Other cultures, like United States, are just focused on the collectivist. So what we see here, the green United States for individual and collectivist, United States is very focused on individual detail or individual persons, but China and Korea, they don't focus on that usually at all. They're just interested in the group. Sometimes they won't even notice a small detail in an advertisement when they'll look at the background of the advertisement. So be aware what each culture is doing. There's power distance. Yes?
So should we have a short break, 5 minutes, and then we can come back with short lessons, and last 20 minutes is time for students to show their referencing the materials they use for the business plan.
Yes, thank you.
They
I only
will
have
learn to know how to reference the materials and how to cite the materials in their report later.
Yes, thank you. I only have 2 slides left to give you guys interesting suggestions, and then we're finished for a break. The last one I want to talk about, a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people complain the government just takes my money and they don't give me anything for it. You should be aware in Vietnam, in Korea, in United States and Canada, the government embassies are everywhere. Everybody knows you can go to a different country and the big cities have embassies. But did you know that embassy is a sales office for you? The embassy has to promote your product and service in other countries for free. Did you guys know that? Most of an embassy has to promote the businesses and products from your country. And so the old way of doing business is the executive will go to other countries and you will spend a lot of money promoting things on your own when you don't know the country, you don't know the language, you don't know the main people there or suppliers, so you waste a lot of money. That is the old way that we see here on the left. I have done it for many companies that required it and spent one trip could cost $60,000. We hope to get 600,000, but the company actually got nothing. Versus if you use the modern way, the tech way, the embassy's trade commissioners, they will take your information, just upload it in the internet or send it to them by email. They will use the embassy staff in any country in the world, and they will start promoting it for you. They will introduce you to agents or distributors. Some of you said that you don't know how to find a distributor. Well, the embassy will find the best distributors for you and introduce you to lawyers or translators, potential customers. I've done this several times, come up with amazing results. So here is an example, just the Canadian embassy, they will promote you in like a dozen different countries, and you can tell the staff what you want them to do for free. And anything from finding potential buyers or partners or agents, manufacturers' representatives, distributors, consultants, government officials, freight forwarders, lawyers. The embassy staff can introduce you to all of that stuff, and it generally costs you nothing. It's free coming out of your tax money. So with that said, I'm finished for now. We can take another 10-minute break. Feels like we just finished having a break, but yes, we can have another break. And when we come back, I'm going to go through a little bit of the financials, but I would like you guys to start working on your projects, as Dong was saying. So go ahead. It's about 5:10 now. So at 5:20, we will come back and continue the rest of the class for today, okay? I will continue to stay on. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me even during the break.
Yes. So please stay.
I'm going to just go through the basics, the titles of some of the financial details before I want you guys to start presenting your initial drafts of your business plans. So what you can see here is that in about 15 minutes or less, I'm going to ask you to work in groups, in your groups, and present your business plan to the groups. Make sure that you remember your final assignment. You have to write down your business plan and then write down many changes. We've already had a lot of information. We started with you giving a rough idea, but you need quite a lot of ideas written down. So I want to give you time to work on your business plan and then present it to the class. And so you can start with that now, but while we do that, I'm going to go through some of the basic financials. The idea of the sales plan and the financial plan. Make sure you understand you're focused on the end user. It's not just, can you sell more? You should be focusing on the benefits to the actual customers. Always, always, always remember that success will come from having more people promoting you. So network as much as possible. Don't just try to get the money, money, money. Always try to keep your contacts. As an entrepreneur, you are going to be meeting hundreds, thousands of people, especially online. You should have systems to be able to automatically send a note to people saying, thanks for meeting with me. I look forward to staying in touch. And then record their details. That is very, very valuable. Organize that network. Remember that you don't have a marketing department. You don't have a sales department. You are the owner, the founder, the CEO to start with. So everything you do is a cold call. What I mean by that is you will call strangers and promote your business to them. That's the cold calling. So get used to it. Always remember for marketing, not just the sales, I think it's a good idea to think of Korea and kimchi. In Korea, you know that Korean people are very unique. Maybe you know that they like a food called kimchi that is basically rotten cabbage with a lot of hot peppers in it. And it smells very strong. That idea of the kimchi is usually not served in many other countries in the world. It's not popular in a lot of other countries. So when Koreans are in France or in New York, or if they're in Rio de Janeiro, and somebody says the word kimchi, the Korean person is going to go, oh, yeah, what? You're going to attract their attention. Same thing, the smell is a very, very strong smell. And so if you open a bag of kimchi in a distant country, the Korean people will still do the same thing. Oh, wow, what's that? You're going to attract their attention. And I think that is the most important part of marketing. You need to find out what your target customer really cares about and test it, and then research and learn that with the SRC, but then find out what do they really like? What makes them say, oh, yeah, or wow. Korean people will definitely say, oh, if they hear kimchi when they're traveling, or smell kimchi, or see kimchi. So that has a very strong impact factor on them. Find out what is the word, what is the picture, what are the smells, what is the service associated to your business, and use those to promote it. So use those keywords. And then when you're making ads, try to remember that you should use the same ad for a long time to grow the knowledge in customers. Most people see hundreds of ads every day. A name on your shoes, a name on your clothes, a name on your desk or chair. And so they see so much, they're not going to remember just a simple ad unless you show it to them every day for generally 3 months. So try to keep your advertising, your marketing consistent long enough to register in their brain. That's the marketing. For the selling, there's several steps to selling, several books for selling. Zig Ziglar is an amazing person for sales, lots of videos, but it's not just selling. The idea of promotions and learn that sometimes there's advantages, sometimes there's disadvantages of things. The more you think of details, the more you're going to find more details, but think carefully about them and be prepared to talk about them. With the financials, of course, there's the startup requirements, income statement, balance sheet, the cash flow statement. Make sure you know what is the purpose, when is it written, all of those details. Talk about each one of those. If you don't have these, you're going to have a huge problem from FTU and Sunderland. Write down anything. Many times, it's easy to copy your competitors. Find out what your competitor is doing. Sometimes you can be able to see their results and learn from them. I did it several times with the businesses I had. Overall, almost everybody knows the basics of accounting. Most people know revenue or sales, and then they subtract the expenses, and eventually you'll come up with your profit or your net profit. But then they'll complain about taxes, and they forget again that the money at the end, before you tell the government, you can take that extra money and put it back into your company as expenses. So you don't have to pay high taxes. Many accountants and governments generally know that. Income statement, not only is there the sales minus cost of goods sold and then the gross profit and selling expenses, you can go through this anytime in our PPT, but there's certain formulas. For example, a percent of sales. And to just explain that a little bit more, generally for manufactured products, 100% of your sales is normal. And then 80% of that goes into your costs of goods sold, leaving 20% remaining. And maybe 7% is your selling expense, 5% general administration expense. That leaves 12.5% left. And then you'll have your earnings before interest and taxes. And your interest, if you borrow money, and your taxes, some people say, I only have 5%. I don't have enough to pay taxes, but you can take this and put this back in. So be aware of those details. Here's just a simple example of a simple company income statement. Same thing for another example. Many examples you can go through. If you have any questions, contact me anytime. I can explain these finances to you. The idea of a balance sheet, it's the same thing. You must be talking about your assets and liabilities and owner's equity. Basically, how much do you have, how much do you owe, and how much can you say you own? All of these should add up to be the same. In this example, you have $10 million of assets at the top equals your liabilities and owner's equity at the bottom. Cash flow statements summarizes the money that came and where it's going. For example, the inflow or your cash receipts, and then where's your outflow or the cash you paid out. You have to track everything. Keep records of that. Keep very, very good records of that. Even if your accountant is saying they can do things differently, you must know. You might not want people to know the details, but you have to keep records just in case of emergencies. Break the cash flow into the three categories: operating, investing, financing. So with that said, now it's time. We'll give you guys about 10 minutes to talk within your group, and then we will like you guys to start presenting to the group. It's probably going to take about at least 3 minutes each. So about 20 minutes of presentations. So we should be able to finish the class around 6 o'clock. Any questions about what you guys need to do? Get into your groups, develop your business plans, start drafting details, and get ready to share that with your class around you. And everything you're starting, if you have questions, ask questions now before class is finished. And you have a week to work on it, a week of homework. ask us questions before you guys are gone for your week. Okay?
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
So
Yes, you
for
have a
the discussion, we discussed something totally different, totally new from our initial business plan or something similar.
If you can show
No,
if you can show the initial plan, so that's also good because you can get more idea. Otherwise, so according to the class 2, so you are supposed to show the materials. So you have to show the good quality materials that you use for the business plan. So show us how you can reference the materials in the report and in the business plan. So
I think your question was a little different. You have to show your business, the one you're doing for the school project.
Yes.
You're making a real business plan, but remember, when you start, you have to show some parts were crazy or bad, and then you have to make changes to it.
Yes.
So always think about your main business, but if you start with simple ideas or crazy ideas, that's a good thing to start with. And later you can revise and take the craziness away. So to be short and simple, build your real business for the class project for at least 5 minutes or so. As soon as you're ready, we can start presenting this for a short time.
So from this moment, again.
Yes. Any other questions?
And Professor?
Yes.
Like yesterday, we explained like a unique selling point, and maybe today we do not need to repeat, right? That's so how we analyze step by step, right?
You, so far, I haven't seen you write down your business plan. What we're trying to do here is see the beginning of a real business plan. And so there's many different components. Try developing any part of it that you can. Of course, the unique selling feature is very important.
Okay.
So have your details, and ultimately the best case scenario is you have a business plan already started. Start going into detail. For example, you want to sell rings. Well, what type of ring? Where are you going to go to decide a supplier? And then how are you going to get the supplier to start manufacturing the ring? How are you going to start designing the ring? Where are you going to go to survey the customers? All of those processes should be broken down into step by step. So eventually you need to do lots. And if you can talk about all of the details, if you've already started your homework, that is perfect.
Yeah, but 3 minutes, we will show what we will show.
Your whole business, as much as you can about your business plan, like a 2-minute pitch or a 3-minute pitch, you're going to show it to the whole group, not just as investors, but the other people are starting to focus on what are you missing in your business plan.
Okay.
You're just starting your homework now. Make your final report.
Okay, clear. Yeah, okay, we try. Yeah. Thank
okay,
you.
so I'm gonna make 6 room, and please choose the number of the room you are in. So let's just go in by the stuff, okay? Just like how you do yesterday.
Yes.
So the break, Tom, we only have 8 minutes left. So students are supposed to be presenting their business plans now. And maybe we can only do 2 minutes each.
Yes.
Professor, I have some problem with my laptop.
Just a second. Duong, can you close all the breakout rooms? You have taken the control of the breakout rooms, right? So make sure all breakout rooms are closed and they start coming back.
Yes, I closed it already. So I think the people are going back now.
Great. Somebody had a question. What was your question? Lynn, Zoom, Maria, I can't hear you. Your microphone is not on.
It's not me, right?
Some people were saying something, but I couldn't hear the full sentence. We only have a little bit of time left. I want to remind you that what you're doing now is just thinking about the initial part of your business plan. Start going through it, start sharing some of the details, what is easy to do, what is difficult to do. If you have good information you can share with others, help your classmates, that's a good thing. If you have difficulty, like you don't know where to get this or how to do it, tell me. I can easily help you now while we're still together. So that's it. Any volunteers to present rather than present for 3 minutes, since we're almost at a time, how about we present for 2 minutes each?
Okay, we can start first. We have only 4 slides.
Great, go ahead.
So we think about something crazy, something yeah. Okay, so we change the restaurant to the ready meal concept. The meals will be half cooked, packed, and delivered to customer who order online or through app within 30 minutes. So you can reheat just with the microwave. The problem that someone busy to cook or to go to the market, and maybe the bad cooker or someone with nutrition concern, they don't know how to cook healthy and fresh food. So target market will be busy housewives, the single adults, and office workers. Something like that, pack, deliver, and cook. And unique selling point, quick and ready to eat meals. The customer can customize and buy in package like 1 month, 1 week meals from us. The meal showing nutrition information, so they know what they are putting inside their body. We provide the database of more than 10,000 dishes, so the guests can customize their own meal. Fresh and healthy ingredients. Okay, that's our business idea, and we will develop more in the future.
Great, and that's just a minute and a half. Very good. Is there any difficulty that you have that you would like the class or me to give you some suggestions or tips?
It should be the way how to deliver the meal within 30 minutes. It be a problem. The logistic in Vietnam, we cannot rely on Shopee or Now to deliver.
Okay. I will try to send you some ideas, but it's a good start. Thanks. Do we have another group that's ready to present? So we've heard from one group. Who's the next group that wants to present? Admin, go ahead.
Yes, it's group 2, right?
Yes.
And Linh, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Please, I can share the screen, please.
Yes. Duong, okay. You have the control. Maybe you want to make me co-host or something.
I think all the students are able to share the screen right now, so you can share.
Okay. Okay, thank you. You can see my screen, please.
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. It's our company is a high milli company. It's a combination of combined of 3 founder name. It's Hiếu, Minh, and Linh. And so we also create the website highmilli.com because we build a e-commerce company, and the product we will provide is fashion clothes. And first we have a true supplier from Canifa and Elise, and we can continue to build another with a relationship with suppliers. And unique selling point is we provide excellent services and good price product, and with the services it include only 1 to 3 days to ship to deliver our item to customer in all province of Vietnam. And also we build the call center to take care of the people, to receive also the feedback of the customer, and also customer will have 1 month to return our item, and we will refund 100%. And yeah, that's is our idea, and our plan is built to 1 year, to first year. It's include 4 phases, and first is launching phases, launching a website, and second we will focus on test season. It's we expect to have a big revenue in this moment, because it's important moment of Vietnam. And phase 3 is the summer fashion. We will boom our marketing strategy to reach high revenue from customer. And last, for phase 4, we have almost 5 months to optimize our process. And also because this moment we don't have a good reason like a Tet or summer, and that's why we have to develop the stable marketing strategy to reach more client, and also verify our process our process in history to next year. And every step will explain by my teammates, please.
Oh, after, yeah, I will keep going with Mr. Hill.
Yes, the first phase is the launching phase. So first we will conduct different analysis and researches and plan to launch our platform. At this phase, we will focus on 2 main goals. First is to find a target provider as fashion agencies. The second one is attempting to launch Hamily.com, an e-commerce platform on digital marketing for the fashion market in Vietnam. During this phase, the main goal is to reach more target customer and convey Hamily.com's mission, an e-commerce platform on digital marketing services for fashion industry. So next, Mr. Minh, please.
So after phase 1, we launching about e-commerce. We are preparing for the phase 2 and phase 3. After weekly market discovery, that's phase 2. We are going to focus on the test season or the peak season, because in this season, people tend to increasing rapidly about purchasing fashion products. So besides optimizing our process in our website, we also start with the conversation to make the comparing and bring to the customer to the website back again to use and try our service. We have so much like the marketing strategy to bring to the customer, like discount or the upgrading marketing advertisement purchase. Also, we also decided we also promote our website in our group with the target customer, with online and offline also. Yeah, and after that, in the phase 3, we are going after the tech holiday peak season. We are keep going to campaign with the booming summer with the Hamily.com. It's like that. After that holiday, we are keep going to promote to bring customer back after that holiday to drive our target marketing packaging for e-commerce. Next with phase 4 is please Mr. Kim.
Yeah, it's phase 4. Yeah, like you discussed, I mentioned before. We will verify the phase 2, phase 3, the efficiency of every phases. And also in this season, we don't have a special reason to have a promotion. That's why we will create the new marketing strategy to reach a new client, and also maintain the old client with the royalty program. And also we will build the plan to next year, and every year we repeat with the phase 2 and phase 3 and phase 4. and yeah, and phase 4 always verify the phase 2 and phase 3, and also create a new marketing strategy to reach the new client and on go maintain the old client. And yeah.
Okay, thanks. Any challenges from you guys?
Yeah, for now we find two potential supplier is the Canifa and Elise, but yeah, we continue to find another supplier, and we think it's a little bit difficult because if we want to develop with the large amount of supplier, it's yeah, it's a question. Yeah.
Okay, I will be available to help after our class is finished. We can text back and forth if you like. Thank you. So the next group to present. So we've gone through, what about, are we now on the milk tea shop? Did we already hear from them?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, are you ready to present the basics
Yes,
of your business
okay.
plan?
Okay, can you guys see our plan?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yes, okay. Our plan is about our brand that the Haley customized multi shop. Why we choose the name is the Haley, because we think that the our tea with the high quality and that is healthy for the health. So healthy, yeah, we create the word healthy to Haley, yeah. And about the identity, Haley provides quite high quality customized music for people aged from 14 to 35. About the problem that people are getting bored with traditional music shops, and they think that the prices are too high for what they get from the store. And people also concerns that the milk tea can be harmful to their health, can create a lot of disease like obesity, diabetes, and there's also no local famous milk tea brand in Vietnam. So that's why we have that our ideas. And for the problems, we have the solution that our stores will provide high quality bubble tea with a lot of selections that can satisfy any customer's need for a cup of milk tea. We also create happy and memorable experience for customers while using our product, because our products that you can customize your milk tea. So when you are using our service, you can making some fun and health experience with your friends and family when go to our store. And we also provide healthy ingredients, nutrition experts, and calories in our milk tea for all the customer. And our target market is the youth, especially the students and officers who loves milk tea and ready to pay for high quality and enjoyable milk tea. About our competitions, there are lots of competitions in Vietnam, mainly are foreign brand, but we also have a national, that's Phúc Long, and then the foreign is Mong Cha, Toko Toko. There's a lot of brands out there, and revenue stream. The Haley will sell directly to customers at our store and also on delivery. About marketing activities, we will communicate with customers mainly by TikTok, Facebook ads, social media, and in person at our store. About the expenses, we will spend expenses for the ingredients of milk tea, employee payment, inventory pay for products, and also marketing fees. About the team and key roles, currently we have 3 members. That's Mr. Thuận, the project leader, Ms. Tuyền about marketing, and Ms. Ngọc for finance. as profit increase, the Haley will look to add some employee to assist with social media and online marketing. And our milestone is that when our business are growing, the Haley will advertise in target markets, especially on social media. Okay, that's on our business plan.
Good, thanks. So we've had group 2, group 3. Is group 4 ready to share some details?
Yes, group 4 is already. And then now we move to group 5 and group 6. And I think group 1 is not here. And group 5 and group 6.
Group 5.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, I'd like to share about our business plan. And we have drafted it in the Google Docs file so that every company members can contribute their idea. And our company name is Duhali Property Investment. It comprises the name of our all members. And this is also our website. We'll build it in the upcoming time. The business idea we have, as we have illustrated in the last lesson, we try to develop an office tower for a lease, and we'll start first with the construction and then operation and then leasing. So our main revenue stream come from the leasings of the properties and also collecting of service fee from our tenants. We will base our office tower in Hanoi because of the reasons that we have stated in the previous lessons, which is about the disease regulations and also about the vaccine rollouts in the city. The expected timeline will spare about 2 or 3 years for constructions, and I really need you for advice regarding the time for construction because we are not yet sure about the normal practice in the real world. And also the marketing and sales activities shall be conducted from year number 2 because we need to have the full stacking plan after the construction finishing to secure our cash flow. And the market opportunity we have already illustrated in the previous lesson, so we'll not talk it again. So what we have added into our business plan now is about the reference. We will check about the market opportunities and also the threats and also some of the data from the market share in the CBRE and Salvo's quarterly reports. These are the 2 most prestigious and trusted real estate advisory in Vietnam. So we'll collect the data from their quarterly report, and I have already downloaded the quarterly report of them regarding the Q1 of 2021. And we also try to research about the trend in green leasings and also the smart offices all over the world to have us with more information about the concepts and also how we can construct and what kind of international standards that we should comply with. Also, we are thinking about the marketing channels besides the traditional ones like the advertisement on TV, also the advertisement on some of the radio. You know, the in Vietnam, the VOV, Voice of Vietnam, are very popular regarding the real estate advertising. We also think about some of the emerging trends in the marketing world, like we can use the platform of live streaming and also the virtual tours based in our website so that the customer can visit our website and see the plan, the floor plan of our products. Okay, so that's all about our business plan. Thank you very much. Okay, so is that my internet connection unstable?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, any special issues that you have? I heard that you had an issue related to finding information about time for construction? Anything else related to the business plans or finding market information?
Find market information.
I'm just wondering, do you have any problems doing that? So far, I've heard, not just from you, but some people, they are generalizing details. It's good to try to be as specific as possible. If you are generalizing, there will be, it's more difficult to get the fast revenue. So the specifics is good. When you're getting information, don't just get information from local people like local restaurants or local civils and CBRE, but try to check for regional or global leaders. For example, Singapore is a global leader in co-sharing office spaces and things like that. So try to start finding what is the world's best company doing what you're doing, and maybe copy some of the practices that they're doing with their business plans. That's good. I think we said that we've already had groups 2, 3, 4, and now this is 5. Some of the other groups, I think they're not, they've already talked to us about it. So any other questions or any other groups interested in presenting anything else before you have a week break continuously developing your business plan? Anything else I can help you with?
I have a question for our business plan, please.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I asked you about supplier, and also I think we have another difficulty also from the phase 4, because in that moment we don't have a special promotion, and that's why it's this step we verify the last step, and also we have to create the new strategy marketing strategy. And that's why I will ask about new strategy marketing to reach the client when we don't have a special moment or special, simple holiday in Vietnam. Yeah.
Okay, the answer is similar to both. When you are doing marketing to tourists, you can consider global companies that market a lot to tourists, even companies like bars that are selling to tourists just visiting their bar, like the what's it called, the oh man, my head's going crazy. Anyway, there's famous restaurants, there's famous bars all around the world. They will sell merchandise, and you can check how they promote to tourists. And things like Miami and LA and Las Vegas, Nevada, they do a lot of sales to tourists also. So don't just focus on looking at e-commerce sites or real estate property development sites just in your area. Look big, go big. Try to find who's the best in the world doing something. Maybe you can find their whole annual report that will talk about how they're marketing and how they're developing, and you can use that for ideas. As far as general marketing, in addition to going for the biggest, don't forget also that having competitions for even silly things like high school kids or university kids to create a marketing video or plan, and you give them a small prize or an award. Sometimes those students can create viral videos to get hundreds of thousands or millions of people to learn about your details. Those are also good. So don't just focus on close around you. Try to think of the highest level, the best in the world, and simple things, how students might be able to help you.
Okay, it's clear. Yeah, I will follow this. Yeah, thank you, Professor.
Any other questions before we're finished for the day? Going once, going twice. Thank you very much. We've had our first
more,
together.
more one. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
but because I just less time for another person. If
Okay.
they don't ask, okay, I have a question also. To fair for everyone. Okay, I have a question. For example, because of limitation of our plan, we will provide the customer just in Vietnam, but also we have a orientation to provide to a foreign country. But when we finish everything is good, And can we just write the idea and we don't have a plan in detail of this idea, please?
I'm sorry, I didn't really understand the question.
Okay, like in our business plan, we just for now we just provide the item to Vietnamese customer.
Oh, right. And you're trying to find
Okay,
out
and
after you do well in Vietnam, how can you expand to other areas?
yeah, but we just write some phrase in our plan. It's okay or not, because it's that's the idea when we realize a very good plan in 3 or 4 years. After that, we will think about the foreign market.
Well, the school assignment is just to start with a basic project. You're suggesting you're going to do a basic project in great detail, and then you're going to expand with another level, another level, another level. You can just have your step-by-step, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and just use 5 words to list it. Phase 3 or phase 6, we will expand internationally. Same thing with group 5. They could say their phase 5 is to expand and set up in Singapore or Laos or other countries. You don't have to expand and explain a lot of those details. Focus on your core business first. So your website, how are you going to compete with Lazada? How are you going to compete with Alibaba? Just in your area or wherever you're focused on developing first.
Okay, it's clear. And so we just put it in the recommendation, right? Recommendation of our assignment.
During your presentation, you should have showing your timeline, your operations, the management style. You're showing when are you going to hire staff. You don't hire 100 staff on day 1. You start with hiring 1, and then phase 2, you might hire 5 more, and then phase 3, you might hire a few more. So you can show a little bit of that, and you have to show that timeline in your business plan, and you can just show an extra later timeline will be expanding into other countries. But that should be inside part of your business plan, one of your 20 slides.
Okay, understand.
And for the other group that was talking about restaurants and tourism, the company that was talking about tourism, Hard Rock Cafe is the one I was talking about. Tourism places. It's a bar. They promote around the world. They're attracting tourists anywhere in the world just by having popular local things and events to get other local people promoting it. So it's good. Any other questions or comments that I can help you guys with?
Thank you, Professor.
Again, class is finished. Sorry for taking too much time. Thank you very much for sharing with me. I look forward to seeing you in a week, next Saturday morning. See you in class end. Please try to have your business plans developed as much as possible.